everyone, my name is Fatima Grace D. Fuguliyot, a faculty of the Social Science Unit. And welcome to my LMS. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, teachers have been challenged to adapt in the new normal of education. And even I, myself, is no exception to this. With the implementation of the flexible learning, I had to adapt the use of technology to effectively and efficiently deliver my instruction to my students. And among of those helpful digital tools that I use is the Google Classroom. So come on, let me do your round to my LMS. Using my desktop, I open the browser and click on the Google Classroom shortcut icon. I was redirected to the Google Classroom homepage. In this window, you can see all the classes that I handle. Let me open this class. On the top left corner, you can see the main menu button. And scrolling down, you can see the different classroom accounts for all of my classes. There are 4 tab sections available to easily navigate the Google Classroom. In the Stream section, you can see the posted topics with their corresponding learning activities. In the Classwork section, you can see all the posted lessons and materials. For example, in the Course Orientation section, you can see the posted notes and reminders for my students. Scrolling down below are the other materials I provided to my class. The first one is the official class list. Second is the Course Orientation PowerPoint presentation. Let me show you to the content of my presentation. Third is the recorded video presentation of the said course orientation. This is for the benefit of those students who did not attend the virtual session. To add, this video can be downloaded through clicking this icon. Let us now go back to the Google Classroom tab. Fourth is the group photo. We take a group photo at the end of the discussion as evidence. Then, here are the materials for the teaching demo. Let us now move to Chapter 1 subsection. I provided some reminders like the deadline of output submission. You can see that there are 32 outputs turned in and 1 missing. Scrolling down below, you can see the copy of my PowerPoint presentation. Next is the recorded video presentation of Chapter 1 discussion. Next, the group picture. And the last one is the learning module. Let me just run through with my module. The second to the last part are the assessment and scoring rubric. And at the end is the references. To download this module, click these 3 vertical dots and click the Open in New window. Then, click this icon to download the file. Let us now go back to the Google Classroom. Scrolling up, you can also see the Chapter 2 topic section. Here, I indicated few notes and the deadline of submission. Since this is an asynchronous session, I provided them with a PowerPoint presentation, learning module, and the pre-recorded video lecture of Chapter 2. Scrolling above, in this portion, you can see that there are 2 students whose outputs are missing. Let's check on this. You can see here the names of students who have missing outputs. Scrolling down below are the students who have turned in already their outputs. And at the end part are the students who have missing outputs. Let me open another tab and click on the Facebook Messenger icon. In the Messenger search toolbar, I type the words Padayon LNU. Below are the list of my classes, in the same manner of how I organize them in the Google Classroom. In this group chat, you can see the class announcements and updates for the second chapter. On this part, I enumerated the students who need to comply for their missing outputs. Let's now go back to my LMS. Above, you can see a message from one of my students who informed me about his delayed submission of output as well as my response. To continue, let me click this Chapter 3 tab section. You can see some notes and reminders as well as the number of students who have turned in their outputs and those students also who have missing outputs. Also, there is a rubric attached to this section. In Chapter 4 and 5 sections, there are also materials that have been posted. On top of that is the midterm exam in SSE 119. Let me open this form. Since this form has been closed, let me open another tab and click on the Google Forms icon. In the Google Forms tab, I type SS33 in the search toolbar to open the midterm exam form. I click on the Responses tab and you can toggle this icon to accept students' responses. Scrolling below, you can see the final scores of my students for the midterm exam. To continue, let me open another tab and click on the Google Drive icon to open the final requirements submitted by my students. I created different folders for organization purposes. Let me click this last folder, then the first folder. You can see here 4 folders categorized by time schedules. Let me open the first folder in SS33. Here are the outputs of the first group, second, and third. Now, let me close this tab. In the People tab section, you can see here the names of my students enrolled in this class. Let me click this. For this student, she was able to submit her answers in Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, and the midterm exam. Going back, in the Grades tab, you can see all scores of the students for every chapter. It also gives you a bird's eye view of those students who have lacking requirements. And that ends the virtual tour to my LMS. Despite the disadvantages and challenges of flexible learning modality, it has widened my knowledge and skills about technology. It has also developed my creativity, resourcefulness, and adaptability. I hope you gained meaningful insights from my LMS experience. That is it for now, and goodbye.